Okay, it's May 3rd, 2014, and the average temperature in Alaska right now is 53 degrees. And at Fairbanks, it's 72 degrees. And if we go look at the average annual temperature chart for Fairbanks, and this is specifically for Fairbanks, if we look at May, this is May 3rd, so we can just look at this line right here. So the minimum average temperature would be, or the daily low would be 30 degrees, and the daily high would be about 54. Okay, so looking at this temperature of 72, this is about 20 degrees above normal for this date in Fairbanks. And if we look at the jet stream, we can see why. Oops, this one here. There was a loop at the jet stream that brought this warm air from Asia and actually flipped it way up into the Arctic Circle north of Alaska. That's why the actual north shore of Alaska is actually 36 degrees, 37 degrees. This is the most horrendous disaster. In 30 years, planet Earth will be dead if the Arctic methane is released. Let me show you what the Haarp, Gakona Haarp transmitter is doing. Or actually, it's the little Pacific transmitter. I think that this little thing right here, this is not natural, and I'll show you why. This is proof. The rest of this map, everything looks pretty normal. This thing here, it's okay, it's got clockwise rotation. That means it's a high pressure, but it does not show up. Well, okay, in the 300 millibar map, we do have a little loop, and it's going this way, so it's a clockwise. There's a little bit of high pressure aloft. Surface map, there is absolutely nothing. But here is the smoking gun, and that's this jet stream map. Look at this. And this really does need some magnification. But if you look at these little flow arrows, this is the 300 millibar jet stream. See, these arrows are actually going around this way. So they're going clockwise on the top, and they're going counterclockwise straight on the bottom. So in other words, it's like flowing around an obstruction. This is like a stream flowing around an obstruction. Here we can see them turning and going north, and then they come back, dive down south, and rejoin here and continue east. These little teeny arrows. So that means it's not a pressure, it's an obstruction. And what can make an obstruction? The South Pacific Haarp can make an obstruction like this, and that's what they've done. So this is a Haarp downburst, this entire thing. And how can we be sure of that? Because they're now chemtrailing this. They're chemtrailing this edge. Because they wanted a nice, clear, high-pressure downburst, but instead there's some clouds formed here and could actually create some rain for California. So now they're chemtrailing this. Let me show you. Okay, so we see the chemtrails popping up. See here. Pop, pop, pop. All over. So this was not intended. They did not want this to happen. So this tells me this was man-made, and this part here is a screw-up. I mean, look at these Haarps. I mean, these chemtrails popping up. Pop, pop, pop. And this is an old map. Okay, so what is that going to do? That is going to rebuild this high pressure here, this persistent high that caused the really cold polar vortex of last winter of 2013, 2014, and keep that warm, humid air from Asia going up into Alaska. So this high pressure being created today is to continue to melt Alaska all of May. This'll keep Alaska at this extreme warm temperature for another week. Mankind, this is your doom. You just think, oh, it's warm. Boy, look at that. Short sleeve weather in Alaska, in central Alaska, even in northern coast of Alaska. No, this is the Arctic methane melting, and within 10 to 15 years, the greenhouse gas content of the entire atmosphere will increase 300-fold. So, our planet, with its lovely temperature balance, is about to be thrown completely out of kilter with 300 times more infrared retained by the surface of planet Earth instead of radiating out into space. So the temperatures are going to skyrocket like just an unbelievable amount, and so rapidly. And once they go up, they don't come back down again, because more Arctic methane means more melting. More melting means more heat. More heat means more Arctic methane. And this is the Laptev Sea. If you want to learn more about it, search YouTube for Natalia Shakhova. Natalia Shakhova. She's a scientist at University of Alaska. Her and a few other scientists are the only ones doing real science on this. Okay, guys, this is the whole ball of wax here. When Alaska is this warm this early, 20 degrees above normal, this is doomsday for planet Earth. If you have anything to do with the Gakona Haarp, you've got to stop this. You've got to stop this. This is an artificial high pressure being created. There's nothing in the maps that explains why this would show up. It's an obstruction, not a pressure zone. An obstruction means it's a descending air column. And also, these clouds moving this direction, that's the surface clouds. Okay, this is all up in the jet stream. Okay, that's a Haarp downburst, and this is the outflow boundary, which they're afraid is going to make rain, so they're chemtrailing it. Guys, this is the entire ball of wax.